Thanks for joining us here. This is the Javelina Jundred presented by Hoka and The Feed. This is the Mountain Outpost series of interviews we're doing with runners in advance of the race. I'm Chris Warden.
Andy Jones-Wilkins.
And we are here with somebody who is no stranger to this race, although they're approaching it in an entirely different manner this year. Anna Louden, the 100K course record holder. Anna, welcome. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you. Excited to be back for another party in the desert.
All right, we got to jump right in. You got a golden ticket at Canyons in 2024, punched your ticket to Western States a couple of months later, ran an amazing race at Western States, and finished 11th place. Is it safe to say that in the list of reasons you're back here at Javelina, at the top of it is wanting to get back to Western States?
Very safe to say that. Yeah, I had so much fun at Western States, and honestly, 10 minutes after crossing the finish line, I was like, I need to figure out how to get back. Got some unfinished business there.
But Western States was your first 100-miler. Mm-hmm. After a long career in sub 100-mile distances, finally made that jump. And I mean, a first 100-miler at Western States, just a little bit. What was that experience like? I mean, most folks, especially on the pointier side of the field, aren't going to jump into a 100-miler and have Western States be their first one.
Yeah, I don't know. It was actually kind of funny. It was at Javelina last year that I realized I was ready for the 100-mile distance, because when I signed up for the 100K here, I was not ready for a 100-miler, 100K. But then leading into Javelina, I started getting a little bit of FOMO, maybe I should have done the 100-miler. So I was like, okay, that's how I knew I was ready to run 100 miles. But then, doing it at Western States, it's just, that course is so much fun. The volunteers are amazing, the hype along the course. I had an amazing crew out there with me. So that made it, I feel like, even though it's an intimidating first 100-miler, it made it a lot of fun. And
so how much time passed between the last Saturday in June and finishing Western States and you emailing Jubilee and Jamil and getting into this race? Was it real quick?
I had a couple weeks of thinking I wanted to do a more mountainous, international 100-miler this fall or something. So that was still pulling at me a bit. But then I couldn't stay away from the golden ticket opportunity, so that's why I'm back here. We'll go to the mountains next year, maybe.
Right.
Well, I have to admit, Anna, it is kind of weird to hear somebody say, I did 60 miles out here, but I need to do 100. You had that much fun out here last year.
I honestly did. I had so much fun last year. I was just running out there, feeling so grateful to be here. I loved the format of getting to see my crew, every time I came through here, and that was just, such an energy boost every time. I remember picking up my pacer last year and being okay, I'm feeling really excited right now, so don't let me go too fast.
Keep me calm.
So yeah, I loved the vibes out here. It truly is a party, so I'm excited to be back.
Did you, on a training, for training, just a little quick on training, after Western States, obviously a little bit of recovery, mental recovery, deciding to focus on this race now. How's your training been? How's the build-up been, transitioning from, a hilly race to something that's, pretty much 100% running?
Yeah, it was a little unconventional because I actually went over to Chamonix for about a month and did just tons of huge mountain days, just because I was having so much fun. I was doing more mileage and 3 times more vert in a week than I'd ever done.
Wow.
And then I hopped in a couple of the Golden Trail races just because there was one in my backyard in San Francisco. And then I'd been wanting to go to Mammoth Trail Fest for years, so I was just kind of did those, and it was a good, forcing myself to work on speed, which is definitely not my cup of tea. But then I focused on the flat stuff, so it's been a good mix, and it's been a lot of fun, which I feel like that's when my training goes the best, is when I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah.
So Anna, you and on the men's side, Raj, set course records out here last year in the 100K. You both have made your 100-mile debut in blazing fashion since then, and now the two of you are among the short list of favorites for this race. Have you talked to him at all, and maybe I could seem to like be along very parallel lines here, because I'll be honest, like I think that you are a fairly heavy favorite for those short list of names for a golden ticket contender, as is he. So like, have you kind of looked at the fact that like there's a little bit of parallel going there? Have you talked to him at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually fun. I first got to meet Raj back in 2022. We were on the USA Road 100K team together. So that was like 13 very flat, fast loops for 100K. So we've kind of chatted a bit about how we've both gone from like pancake flat to thinking Javelina was like a technical course, and then getting more and more into the more actual trail stuff. So it's been fun kind of following similar journeys with him.
How about race tactics? You know the course, you know the 3 loops, you know the longer one, the first loop, you know the subsequent loops, you know it's going to be hot. You know, every year at Javelina, especially the last few, as Chris and I have said, to me this is the second most competitive 100-miler in North America after Western States. It goes out hot every year. Are you kind of a run-your-own-race person? Are you, let's see how it goes?
Yeah, I mean, there's a super solid pack of women here who I feel like are just very reliable runners. Like, I'd put myself in the category of just not trying to, like, go out at blazing fast pace, but just trying to be the steady person. And I think there's a lot of people here who are like that. So I'm hoping we have a big pack for at least a lap or 2, maybe 3. I was pretty lonely last year, so it'd be really nice if I was out there with several others, and I would love to be able to feed off of some other women's energy and work together.
Well, one of the things that you'll learn in pivoting from the 100-miler or 100K to the 100-miler here is that lead pack always goes out extremely hot here at Javelina 100. And one of the things that we will find is that the runners that succeed here amongst those fast packs are those who learn to successfully dial in heat mitigation strategy. Having been somebody who's run out here before in these hot temperatures, having run Western States in hot temperatures, do you feel that you're better prepared than some of the other maybe first-timers or newbies who haven't quite run in maybe here or Western States? Do you think you're better prepared?
I'd be willing to put it out there that I've got one of the best crews out of anybody out here. So shout out to my crew. A lot of the people out here with me like came to Western States with me. They were here with me last year. They were at Canyons with me. So I think they've got the heat mitigation strategy dialed, and definitely will be relying on them a lot to make sure I'm just stuffed with ice in every possible place they can imagine. And
let's hear it. Who do you got out there? We love to hear about the crews. I mean, crew, I've often said that Javelina is probably the easiest race on the circuit to get somebody to crew. They don't have to drive anywhere. Even if it's hot, they get to hang out in these nice tents, and it's a big party out in the desert. But who do you have? Who do you have in your corner?
Yeah, I got crew chief, my husband, Austin, and then we've got Bay Area favorite David Lamb, who's going to be on the live stream.
Yeah.
So don't tire him out too much, because he's got to pace me on lap 4.
Okay.
One of my road running teammates, Becca Lohman, will be taking me home for the last lap. And then my friend Marnie and Pauline, and also my parents made the trip out here. So
right on.
Got a big
You have a
crew.
full entourage out here.
Yeah.
So like, do you like walk and like you walk in front and the rest of them walk behind you as you're walking through the area? Like, kind of picturing some like dramatic music in the background. Because like that's basically probably the next frontier for Javelina 100 is like doing the whole like Floyd Mayweather entourage.
Having an entrance. Like,
pull out the red carpet.
Like a pro wrestler or something like that. I can totally see that.
Gosh.
When it comes to with gear, what are you gonna be wearing? Like what's gonna be on your feet here this weekend?
I'm wearing the Brooks Catamount 4s, so it's got their new like foam in that. So I've been training in those for a bit, and they just feel again like super comfy, super reliable. I just don't really think about them. They just
vest, handhelds, both.
Back and forth. I figure I like the vest, but then I think when it gets hot, I'll probably try to do more handheld, just have less on me. But my crew will have both ready, depending on what I'm feeling.
And are you on the high carb fueling train?
I would say I'm higher carb.
Yeah.
Like Western States, I think I was able to hit about 85 an hour.
Okay.
So I'll do I really like the Goo Octane drink, and then I do a variety of gels. I always say I like to have my gel buffet out there, just a little bit of everything.
It's great when Goo Octane is the race's drink for me too. Like
Yeah.
Western States and this, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
don't
it's-
even have to pack the stuff.
Especially
Yeah.
when it's so hot out there, it's like I know I'll be wanting to refill
Yeah.
halfway through. So, yeah.
Well, Anna, I think that's about all I've got. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask her? Or?
I just really hope. We're not supposed to root for anybody, but as a longtime Western States person, and I've
You
known,
don't say.
and having known several people who've gotten that 11th place, I really, really hope you get this golden ticket to have another chance at that, because it is. There's no experience like it, and if you can get onto that course for a second time, whatever maybe little mistakes you might have made this past year, you'll have them all cleaned up. So good luck out there. Get that golden ticket and get that F10.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Anna.
Thanks, folks. Anna Louden. We'll be back with more interviews here shortly. This is the Javelina 100 live stream preview presented by Hoka and The Feed. We'll be back.